All right, everybody. How's everyone doing this evening? Ooh, we got a lot of people here already. Well, let's see. We got Fray Brush, Mark, Ralph, Fragged, Joseph, Stober. Geez, who else we got? Tiny Littles. I like that name. Let's see what else we got here. We got 21 people already. All right. Can everybody hear me okay? It looks a little, the video looks a little dark on my end, so let me know if it looks okay. Max, Joe, how are you guys doing? All right. Are we almost at 7 o'clock? So let's give it just a minute or so. Woody, how you doing? Square, how you doing? Mr. Chuck Rodriguez, how you doing, sir? Richard, how you doing? JR, heyo, how you doing? And everybody else that's here, thank you for spending your evening with me. Making sure everything is good to go. Mark, it's 1 a.m. there. Well, thank you, sir. You're pretty dedicated. What's up, Frag? How you doing, buddy? Adam, hello. How are you? Let's give it another minute here and let everybody kind of get on. I'm checking a couple things here. Let's see here. Working on a lino sculpt while you watch. There you go, sir. Yeah, guys, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I do appreciate everybody coming in tonight. Hold on one second. I'm looking up a couple of things here. JR, printing here. Stober, nice shirt. Thank you, sir. You can get one over there on the merch store if you would like. They're pretty cool. All right, here. Still trying to pull this up here. 35 watching and 6 likes. Come on, guys. Square says he just primed Craven's last hunt. All right. Sarge in the house. How you doing? Mr. James Pike, how are you doing? Sarge, you got a new video out, right? Everybody go over and check out Sarge. He's got a YouTube channel. Does some really cool stuff there. So just picked up the Hallett Mage. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. John, how you doing, sir? Y'all bear with me just another minute. I'm just kind of giving it a couple of minutes before we start here. All right. So, all right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. No need delaying it. First and foremost, I was going to come on here and do a rebuttal and stuff like that about last week's live stream, and we'll get to that here in just a minute. But first things first, I want to, if I have offended any of my viewers from last week's live stream or upset anybody or anything like that, that was not my intentions. My intentions was to bring awareness to you all. So my apologies if I did. Again, that was not my intention. So, but there's a couple things that I want to address, and then we're going to move forward. Tonight's going to be kind of a, we're going to do some Q&A here a little bit later. Going to get a couple things out of the way, and I'm going to address a couple things that were said and done, I guess you could say. So last week, I had mentioned a previous sculptor about basically not before I get started, if you guys do me a favor, besides hitting the like button, save all your questions for later, because I want to get through this relatively quickly. I think I've spent a little too much time on this already, and I just kind of want to address it and put it behind me. So if you guys can bear with me on that one. So I made I did the live stream last week, and I wanted to talk about patrons that basically weren't living up to their end of the bargain. So again, it was to bring awareness. I really don't want to take away from somebody's way of living. That would be disrespectful for me to do that. And for that, I owe Alvaro Stuardo an apology, sir. I could be the better man and say, hey, it looks like you started a good thing by getting stuff on your Patreon for your members, and I commend you for that. The test of time is going to be whether you remain consistent or not. So again, I've always told everybody that you voice your opinion and you say what you want to say with your wallet. So if you are a member of his Patreon, definitely congratulations. Good for you. He's released a couple, I think a new model or whatever. Says he's going to focus all of his attention towards there, and I hope he does. He's a damn good artist. I will not take that away from him. However, there's a couple things that I want to address, because apparently he made a long post, and my intention last week was not to step on anybody or anything like that. Again, it was to bring awareness of people that are doing this in Patreons and stuff. And hey, Jerry, how you doing? So again, I don't want to take anybody's means of doing making a living. All right, I'll say that. However, when I get lots of messages and lots of emails from people that I recommended this person to and everything like that, it kind of upsets me that, these guys are shelling out money. Granted, it's $5, I know, but still, there's a lot of people, a lot of my viewers and stuff that live on a fixed income or don't have a lot of money to spare. And when you fork out money, you expect something in return. So he wasn't doing it, and apparently now he is. So again, let's see if he's going to be consistent with it. I was under the impression that maybe it would have kind of driven him to get in gear and put something out on the Patreon, and it did. But the one thing he did that I wasn't expecting him to do was play the sympathy card. And he went there and he did it. And so in the process, basically said a couple of things about moi, which are flat out lies. Okay. I'm not going to go through the whole post that he wrote. I mean, some of you guys can look at it or whatever. Bottom line, it was a woe is me. I'm a starving artist. I can't make ends meet on what I'm doing, trying to make commission work and everything. And I commend him for that. However, there was a couple things that were also said that made me kind of think and scratch my head for a minute, that I'm not sure he really understands what a Patreon is. So, so I look at it this way. I want to try and help people. I tried to help him as far as I did a couple of videos for him, because I did a couple of models. And, but however, it goes without saying that I want people to understand that when we make videos of whether it's statues, reviews, or whatever like that, 9 times out of 10, somebody reaches out to us and asks us to do so. In this case, whatever, I liked his art. I did want to make a video, and I did want to promote him. That was my own volition. But he was saying that in this long post that I didn't pay for any of the stuff that he sent me. That's a lie. So I want to show you, I don't know if you could see it, September 17th, I pulled up this invoice, and I'm just going to show you this one right here, because it goes without saying that the one thing you don't do to people is you just don't lie on them. And him and his wife have done that. So on September 17th of 2022, I paid the man $50, not $5, an extra zero, $50 for the Wolverine file to do. Okay. Here's I don't know if you guys can probably see this or not. Here's a PayPal invoice on that. Okay. There's the PayPal invoice on that one. There was another one that I did, another video that I did was for the Hulk. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure whether, I know he sent it. I sent the payment. I don't know if it went through or not. If it didn't, I'll double check it. That's what I was trying to do earlier. If it didn't, I would gladly send him the $50 that I was supposed to pay him for that. But he sent the file. He sent another thing, another file, whatever like that, that he said as a gift. I have all of the different messages and stuff like that we kind of had. I can go back and forth about this. I really don't want to, but some of them that is on here that he tried to say that I didn't pay. He also tried to say that I didn't promote him, but there's pretty much evidence on here that, you know, like we had a conversation here. Put on here, he said in the middle of the conversation, he says, "That's great, bro, because I'm poor as hell. I will be finishing Cable, the one that is with my Insto, Magneto, Akuma, and Wolverine versus Samurai." I said, "Hell yeah. If you offer them for sale, I'll print and paint them. I just sent you a guy. I just had a guy DM you for Wolverine too, by the way." And he said, "I already answered. Thanks. Wolverine will look great painted, blah, 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 blah." So that was one instance where he did acknowledge that he did have somebody to, and a few people, because I think when we started talking in conversation, I don't think he had very many, if any at all, patrons. I think now to this very day, I think he has like 80, which is good. So also here's a conversation right here. I'm pretty sure this was I can't remember if this is Wolverine or the Hulk, but this is one here where I said that payment was sent. Let me know that you got it. He acknowledges, "I got it. Send me your email again and I'll send the file in a few hours." There's a message right there. So again, you're acknowledging that you got payment. I sent you the invoice. And so that is, you know, you basically saying that you didn't get paid or whatever like that, or however that works, which is a lie, obviously. You wrote that, not me. So that apparently his wife, I didn't know he was married or anything like that. His wife had made a comment on my YouTube channel. And I'll read you this comment because she's saying that I deleted it or something, but it's still on my end. So I don't know what's up with it. So here's what it's pretty long. So I'm just going to, again, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I want to kind of get this off my chest and move along. So she commented, "Let me see if I get this. It is expected artists, quote unquote, digital sculptors, to produce high quality statues monthly for the price of $5, even if they do not have the amount of patrons to support themselves. Maybe I would agree with your statement if not for the clear show of how much money an artist is getting on Patreon. Making other types of content, such as sitting in front of a camera live just talking, does not equal the amounts of hours sculpting takes." And I agree with that. So you think a hyper-realistic oil painter, if chooses to have a patron, as she cannot find a way to sell such art, must provide art fast, right? Where's the support? How come patrons getting all the files, 4 statues for $5, and then leaving isn't the real bogus? You even put Alvaro's work with an X on your thumbnail, kicking someone when he's down. Hold on. Maybe if the artist you are talking is actually making enough to feed themselves, this could make sense. About the other artist you spoke, who apparently made such amazing fasts work and then changed to Mario, probably he had those models made long ago. I know as a person who cannot make art as yourself, this might be hard to understand, but art takes time. Patreon was supposed to be a way to support and help those talented people who want to persevere through adversity and continue being an artist, even while not having enough to pay bills and hopes to be seen and recognized. I, though, by being upfront, was enough to prove you are not trying to take people's money for free. Have you made the numbers? Are the artists you are stepping on traveling and enjoying life, or are they struggling to stay alive? A man is a person who practically promised to buy files and then after receiving them, never acknowledged the transaction and keeping them for free. Don't you think that is almost a joke? It's obvious by the amount of statues behind you how wealthy you are. Sorry, I had to laugh at that one. And I'm glad, but why not use the platform to help, to not take advantage of people? How much did you really pay to the artists whose files you have printed? Did you give them exposure, and was said exposure compared to what you got from it? Be better, be nice, and life is hard for others. It's nice not to forget and be kind. So let me acknowledge that real quick. First off, I didn't make the choice to be an artist. He did. I didn't make the choice to make that your number one job. He did. I didn't also make the choice to make your Patreon $5. He did. So we have choices here. We have choices to be an artist. And by all means, I really could see this guy sculpting for XM and everybody else because he's great. He's a great artist. That's why, I was following up on him. But I think they fail to realize that when you do a video, something like that, when I'm doing a review, like say for a printer, or when somebody else is doing a review for a printer, or even a model, let's say a model, 9 times out of 10, the maker, the person doing the video doesn't pay for it. If they want to be paid for it or whatever, a lot of times they're just not going to have the video done because I don't think people realize the time. I don't think she realizes the time it takes to do a video, to make a video. It could take weeks. So there's a lot more to it than just sitting behind and jawing on a live stream or whatever like that when you're making a video. They had also mentioned in a previous statement too about that I kept the statues for myself. Well, yeah, I printed them and painted them. Why wouldn't I keep them? I mean, that makes no sense to me. So if you're having trouble making ends meet, be responsible, get a job until you be able to make ends meet, doing your craft, doing what you love. I mean, that is just common responsibility in my eyes. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but as far as I'm concerned, that's what you just call responsibility. If you have a family you have to take care of, mouths to feed, you got to support them however means possible. I was a single dad for a good number of years where I had 2 children I had to take care of by myself. And guess what? It sucks, but you got to do what you got to do. And by all means, you can't really tell somebody that, you don't know what it means to be an artist or what it struggles. Of course I do. I got full scholarship to Memphis College of Art back in 1989 that I never used because I wanted to grow my hair out long and go play in a band and rock out and all this other stuff. I thought I had it made. So I had a couple of my paintings in Brooks Museum of Art here. I had a couple of contests and stuff like that, national championships that I won, oil paintings, still lives, charcoal paintings, you name it, I've done it all. And it used to be what I just loved. But hey, there comes a time when life happens, you got to make a choice and you got to do what you got to do for your family. And that's what I did. I was 19 years old when my son was born. And let me tell you, it's brutal. You don't know what you're doing. You think you got it made. You think you got it all lined out and everything. And I don't mean to get into my whole life story or whatever, but choices. We all make choices. So I'll say this. I hope he does well. But I think that the more his wife makes comments, and she's been making quite a bit on that's seeming like it's pretty detrimental and, it's going to be the downfall of his Patreon. And I say this because, for example, there was a post that was made today that's basically saying if you become a patron of his for $5, okay, which personally I think he should be in the 20 range. If he was in the 20 range, right now with 80 patrons, he'd be making over like $1,400 a month. It's decent money. I don't know if it's going to be a livable wage where he lives or not. I don't know. But $5, you're going to have thousands, hundreds of patrons to get there. She made a statement about they're possibly wanting to ban people that come in, get their model, and leave. You heard me right. They're wanting to ban someone from coming back to the Patreon. I don't know if that's like something you could get banned for on Patreon, because that happens all the time. If any of my Patreon members, any of my Patreon creators are here, let me know in the comments right now whether you have that. Because I can tell you right now, I have a few hundred patrons. Some of them, come in, they get that $10 model and they're gone. I had 18 people get the model last month and take off. So, that's the way Patreon works. If you want something to support you while you are struggling or whatever and not give anything in return, you just want free money, which you got for a few months. Think about it. But if you want free money, do a GoFundMe page. There's artists that do it all the time, dancers, musicians, things like that. But if you're a patron, people are going to expect something in return. And here's the problem that they've had with it, and I had with it. You released like the Cable and the Wolverine. And again, the Cable I paid for because I was a Patreon member. And I was a Patreon member for 4 months. And I got the hell out of there because I wasn't getting anything in return. And I was getting fussed at a lot. So it kind of upset me a little bit. But anyway, if you're a Patreon member, you're expecting something in return. So for months, there was a Hellboy that was being teased on his Patreon page. I think all the way back in March. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know it's been there for several months. It's getting done. I'm making it. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. In the meantime, there was an ass load of models that were being prepped and being done and sketched out, never finished, never going to Patreon, and never finishing Hellboy. Nothing was being released because he was hoping for commissions. Now, if you can do commissions, that's great. And if you can do commissions and a Patreon, that's great, because commission's good work, because you got somebody who is probably wanting to produce your work. But when you got a model that you're teasing people, oh, it's going to be done, it's going to be done, it's going to be done. There's another one that's going to be done. Oh, by the way, I did this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Take a look. And you're not producing anything for your patron for a couple of months. It pisses people off. It does. Why can't you focus your energy of those other 5 or 6 models that you started and finish the one that you had started, put it out for your Patreon, and then continue your commission work? So now, the question that his wife says or asks, is it expected to produce high-quality statues monthly for the price of $5 if they do not have the amount of patrons to support themselves? You damn right it does. Because you made the price, you made the commitment to get a Patreon going, and these things are not easy to do. These things take time. You're not going to do like poof and make $1 million overnight. It's not going to happen. If that's your mindset of going into it, you're going to lose. So either have a backup plan, price your stuff right. I mean, he's very undervaluing his work. I mean, he's really undervaluing his work because he's a great artist. Again, those choices were made. And so I'm just going to say that that's the way it is. If you're expecting for somebody to come in there and be your patron for several months and not get anything in return, it's not going to happen. If you're expecting for someone to come in and learn that people are getting banned because they buy a model and they take off and they can't come back or whatever, that word's going to get out and it's going to destroy your Patreon. I mean, I'm just saying. So I will say this. I don't know whether it lit a fire under him to finish the model, the Cyclops he released or whatever like that, which is an amazing model. Go over there, get your $5 model, support him. I really hope he gets hundreds and thousands of patrons. I really do. I really do, because the guy is a phenomenal artist. But don't come at me, bro, and talking about, don't lie on me. That's all I ask. Take care of your customers. I've always said that. Anybody who's watched the live stream or anything like that, I've always said that. Take care of your customers. There's guys on here. I don't know if we have any creators right now on here, but they've been on here before. They could tell you there's people who come and go. It happens. What do you do? You win them back. You put out a badass model. You get them back. I mean, that's how it is. You got to be consistent. If you're not consistent, it'll kill you. So I think that I will say we'll leave it at that. Yeah, Joe, I totally agree there. I'll say this, we'll leave it at that. I'll wish the dude the best of luck. I will have no more business dealings with him. I don't even think I'm going to finish the cable that I started. So I just want to move on. And like I said, let his wife run his Patreon for him and see what happens. So my other question is like, what are they going to do whenever their shit winds up over on Etsy for $1.99? Because it's going to happen. Everybody's does. There's nothing you can do. Control what you can control. You control the price. You control what you make. You control the release date of what you make. And you control whether or not your customers are happy. It's as simple as that. Stop making excuses, playing the sympathy card. Do good work that you do. Be consistent about it. And I'm saying this about everybody. Be consistent on what you do and rock out, man. I mean, I really hope somebody picks this guy up. Some of his work is phenomenal, and he does great work. But for now, until, I see that, and again, if you think I'm wealthy, okay, what you see behind me is pretty much I either printed and painted, or I have had tons of, or some of the stuff for years. I'm not wealthy by any means. Everything I make off my Patreon goes back into the Patreon. Don't believe me? Go over there and talk to the people that I give a model to every month. Those things cost money. I don't design them myself. Yeah, I am rich. Right, Deja? Sure. LOL. There you go. Thank you. But I can tell you, I'm not wealthy at all. I mean, if I was wealthy, instead of making models and painting them, I would probably be doing like some of these other guys and showing you my $250,000 collection, ha, 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 and making videos doing that. But that's not me. I actually spent more on my fixtures here than I did on the models themselves. So that's one thing. The other thing is I just want to support people who do good work. That's all. So moving forward, I really just want to produce, or have these live streams to be an up positive type of thing. I don't want this. I'm spending way too much negative energy on this, so I apologize for that. And, we will put this behind us and move along. And I'll give another example. Wicked. Everybody's talking about Wicked. Everybody knows who Wicked 3D is. Those guys grind and grind and grind to get models out, several models. So the other question that was risen in there was, it's expected of digital sculptors to produce high quality statues monthly. You don't want to put out low quality, right? I mean, you don't want to be like putting out some crappy stuff. So yeah, there's people who do it all the time. It depends on commitment, the time that you got. And plus you're talking about that this is your only job. All right. So, that's the way it is. All right. So we're going to leave it at that, guys. 31 minutes on it. That was probably a little bit too much. And we'll just do that. We'll just leave it at that. So again, I wish him the best of luck. I wish every patron will succeed. I wish every patron would be consistent to succeed. So that's it. So let's talk about what's going on. I'm glad that we have 84 people here. If you like the live stream, if you like the channel, don't forget to hit that like button for me. So I really, really appreciate it. Kind of gets me noticed out there and stuff. I do have a couple assholes who like to hit that dislike button, which I don't care. Interaction, that's fine. Do what you got to do. If you don't like it, that's fine. So let's address some of the good patrons that are basically coming out, and or that are models that are coming out. We got some of the people I support. Wicked's definitely one of them. Those guys, I think, yeah. James Pike says Gabriel is wicked with Wicked is awesome. His energy is infectious. Yes, it is. Gabriel is just amazing. I mean, he's a really hyperactive kind of guy, but they're doing really good things over there. They started out just like everybody else at 0, but now they're doing really good for themselves. Sanix is another good one. Jerry said he just started on the Aliens diorama. That thing is going to be humongous. I think Tony Iommi from Greedy 3D has been doing his as well. So go over and check him out. CA3D, nice models. Yep. LA Figures. Yep. So, yep. I've been pushing those guys for quite a while, and I really support what they do. Sakai for anime is very good. I haven't checked them out, but I will. So I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on with me. So I think the last week too, we had talked a little bit about, I'm trying to get all this room situated and stuff, everything that you see behind me and everything, trying to get it organized. Yeah, can't forget Vengeance. Thanks, Sarge. Speaking of, I am probably most likely not going to have a live stream next week. I'm helping my son move, and we got to get a few things situated. But our next live stream, I'm actually going to try and have Jordan from Vengeance Studios on with me. That way he can talk to you about his Patreon, tell you upcoming stuff, what's going on in case you don't know about him, see what's up in his world. And I would love to get Jules Modelato on here. So I would like to see him on here too as well. Anybody else that you would like to see, post in the comments. I'll contact him and see if we can get him on here. Let you tell them what's going on with them, and so anyway, so what's going on? So we finally got the storage room built and everything, and I've been moving a bunch of stuff. I've got part of my wall over here built for my statues. Over here, I got all my printers moved. I actually skimmed down my printers. I think I have 2, 4, 16. I think I'm down to like 11 where I had 15. So I got all my printers on the wall. They're probably not totally set yet. Got some boxes to move. Got some cleaning up to do, and we're going to start really hammering it here pretty soon with the whole room set up. So I am hoping, and I'm being realistic here. I want to have a full tour of the room at least by the end of the year. Hopefully way before then, but I'm definitely trying to get everything situated so you guys can see the room and see what all it's about, and see my workspace and stuff. A lot of people really, kind of digging that. So, and I also want to get new videos out for you guys. I've been focusing all my attention on trying to get this room and my son moving and everything else. So I apologize for the lack of content, but please continue to support the channel. Continue to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please do so. And I would, I'm definitely going to be putting out some stuff here before too long. Got to finish up a couple things here that I've been working on. If you have not seen the Spider-Man Kraven's Last Hunt model that I released last month on my Patreon, go check it out. It's on my Facebook channel, my Instagram. Yeah. John, no, my son is moving in. He's moving back in. Sanix will never do a live, Jerry. They won't. Oh, that's okay. Well, that's bad. I mean, I like to have the guys on, talk to them. They have a huge catalog too. And thank you, Ivan. I appreciate it. We'll keep grinding. Joe says I still want a Sergeant Rock. Man, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. Anyway, I still got a lot of stuff I have to do here in the room to get everything situated. So it's taking time, but it's going to be pretty cool. And again, once I get everything situated, that I can start, painting again and printing again and everything. I can tell you right now, my wife can attest to this. She teases me all the time about my backlog, and my backlog is shrunk considerably after today. So I'm like dirty as hell, sweaty and everything else, because I've been cleaning up a lot of stuff. So some stuff that just not into and I printed and not going to make or anything like that, it all went in their garbage. So it is gone. So that really shrunk everything down. I'm going to start knocking out some of these models here that I've got printed. I've got quite a few. And I've got some tutorials. I've got some pretty cool things that I've been learning that I want to pass on to you guys. Some things that I've known from years and everything like that. We're going to do another skin tone tutorial because I've got a kind of an update for you guys. I know I've been getting a lot of people asking, hey, can you do the sideshow method or whatever you have, where they use the washes and stuff like that? So we may do something like that. But I got some nice tutorials that's going to keep you guys and on your toes there and keep you learning. So absolutely. So this is the point of the video where we'll start taking some questions. So I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Momo, he said, why not do a giveaway for the stuff you didn't want to paint? Because shipping that stuff is a what, and some of it's together, some of it's pretty big, and yeah, I just didn't want to fool with it, shipping it or anything like that. I will tell you that I possibly will have some giveaways pretty soon. I got a couple of printers that I'm probably going to be giving away, and I'm working on some other stuff with some sponsors. So yeah. All right, so here goes the questions. Fray Brush wants to know, do you cut your Wicked Createx colors with anything before you spray them? Yes, sir. I use airbrush thinner. I use thinner pretty much on anything. I mean, I don't put anything into an airbrush that's possibly going to clog it or anything of that sort. So, yeah, definitely use that. So Mr. Bamboo Taco says, do you hollow every print piece of a model? You know what? For big ones like a quarter scale or something like that, pretty much. Because some of those bigger pieces or whatever like that can bend and warp because they're actually heavier than the supports. So when they move up and down and stuff like that, they'll actually bend. So I try to hollow everything that I possibly can. Plus, it saves money on resin. Hope that answers your question. How's the Neptune 3 Max Henry? Looks pretty good in that box in there. It's still in the box, man. I'm not opening up anything right now until I get everything situated and moved into this room and out of this room. Still a lot of work to do. I've been at it since early this morning, and after this live stream, I'm going to be at it again, trying to get everything cleaned up and stuff. So it's a chore. So when you thin, do you add any medium to help keep the pigment strong? No, the only thing that I may add is a little bit of flow improver. I don't, because I usually don't have a problem in pigment being too thin or anything like that, and blemishing out or anything. That's usually I don't have that issue. So here's a good one from James. Any plans to do more of the TMNT figures from LA Figures? I printed them all, LOL. We'll see. There's no plans in the near future. I still have so much stuff I have to paint. So yeah. So here's another thing too. Sarge, thank you for bringing that up. If you hollow and forget to make holes, the print will find its own holes and you will be sad. That is the quote of the night, man. Love it. Yeah. So make sure you put drain holes in your stuff, because if you're not, in a couple of months after you painted it, you're going to go back and look at it and it's going to look like venom got a hold of you. It's going to be a goopy mess everywhere. So make sure you do that. All right. Stobar has a question. If you had to move forward with just one resin and one FDM printer, which ones would you pick? So FDM, I think that probably that Neptune Max, because the build volume is just so big. As far as printers, I'm really, really loving this Frozen Sonic Mega 8K. Although I'm waiting for a screen to come in. My screen went out. I don't know what happened with it. It wasn't dead pixels or anything like that. It just went belly up on me. William Beltran, hello, sir, has a question. Can you scale up a miniature to, say, 1/6 scaler, or would you lose too much detail? It really depends on the model itself, really, because I've upscaled some miniatures like 75 millimeters to 1/6 scale, and they've done fine. It really just depends on how the artist really pushed, the detail into the model. So if it's a pretty deep detail, then it should be fine. You'll be able to tell once you upsize it in your slicer. You'll see a different kinds of pixelated type issues with it or something like that. So just toy around with it and see. Momo says Berserk or Death Note. If you had to pick one for a diorama, which would you pick? I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm not sure. RL says, Henry, just wanted to say thank you for your secret list of settings. I am new to 3D printing and you save me a ton of headache and time. You're most welcome, sir, and thank you for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Esurf Rider wants to know, I'm assuming that you're asking about my models behind me or something. What percentage is SLA versus FDM? I would have to say that I'd say 90% is SLA, the rest, 10% FDM. I don't do much in FDM yet, but I'm going to. I've talked about doing some cosplay items, some weapons and things like that, just unique props. There's only so many models you can do until you kind of start to kind of go, I really want to do something different. And I'm kind of there. So, and I don't want to start doing miniatures, because I think that once you start doing miniatures, you're going to associate yourself as being a miniature channel. You're going to get all those people into your channel. And the next thing you know, you're going to have 150,000 subscribers and only 2,000 are going to be watching your videos. And I really just don't want to go that. Tacos or burgers? That's easy. Tacos. Chuck says, have you ever used a blend of 60% thinner, 40% flow improver, and 10% retardant medium? Has really helped my airbrush. I have. you just really have to watch your air pressure, your PSI, and you kind of have to watch your distance that you're actually brushing from. But it can be done. It's actually really good. James says FDM is too much work for me. I agree. Some of those bases really need FDM. I agree. The Spartan over your left shoulder. Did you print that one? My left. No, sir. Those. So you see Leonidas, and you see Achilles, and there's Spartacus right there, and even that miniature Thor right there. Those are all from ARH statues when they were actually a good company to get stuff from. I think they're out of business now, but I used to support those guys when they were nothing. I got some Punisher statues that they made when they were just doing garage kits. They're very, very, very rare. So, yeah. But yeah, those are really nice. I love those. I'd love to see more of that type of the Greek mythology and stuff. They were doing a lot of that stuff for a while, and they kind of went to the other side of the spectrum, doing half nude chicks, and so that was, I think that was kind of the end of them. That is 110%. What ratio do you recommend? I mean, with thinner, I mean, I like to use a lot of thinner, probably 60-40. I don't really get into too much retarder into there. Like I said, I might put a couple of drops of flow improver. But other than that, I just do thinner and paint. I really don't do any sophisticated mixes or anything like that. So yeah, Peter says that I think a new Mega 8K is being released quicker, cheaper, lighter. Yes, but I think the build volume is a little smaller, if I'm not mistaken. They've got some new bells and whistles on there. I haven't fully checked everything out yet, but yeah, I like the build volume on this one here. It's just amazing. You can print some pretty big stuff. All right, so yeah, just a drop. Joseph says, I've been looking for a Leonidas and Achilles model. I have a grandson named Leonidas, one Achilles. That's pretty cool. That's very cool. Don't give him some stupid name like Henry. Anyway, yeah, these guys they're very old. I think they're probably close to around, I don't know, 15 years old. They're solid, man. They're just solid polystone. But I've had them since they first come out, and I dig them. I mean, those are some of my favorite models. This Thor here, this little sucker is heavy. This one, so the hammer comes off. It's a long hammer. I'm sorry, it's a little dusty. But this was made in 2008. It's 122, I think, of 500. So there was only 500 of these made, and that was in 2008. So that shows you how old that thing is. I've had it ever since. It needs a good cleanup, but I like stuff like that. That's when everything back then was traditionally sculpted by hand. Those models were not digital. They were all sculpted by hand, to my knowledge. Araham Haraja, whatever his name is, I think he's the one who's the sculptor. And he was a great sculptor and just a bad businessman. Let me see. Where are you finding cheaper Vallejo paints? My local hobby lobby has a very limited supply, and Amazon is very overpriced. Correct. So I have a local hobby store here where I live, and they have a full line of them. I will say that they've been having a lot of trouble in getting some of the paints, some of the colors in. But that's where I typically get mine from. Now, I have been using these Pro Acryl paints from Monument Hobbies, and man, I love them. They're growing on me. So a couple of my Patreon members were turning me on to them and everything. So I bought like a bunch of the line and I just love them. They're great. The pigment is great. They spray and the airbrush really, really good. They're really delicate. The only thing, some of their lighter colors like the orange and the green takes a little bit more to cover. But other than that, I mean, they're really good. So everybody go to Monument Hobbies, write them and tell them you need a creative collector signature line because they're in the States and they're doing some new signature lines. I think I need to check those out. Probably get those. Yep. So Mark says Uniformation GK2 is getting a lot of good reviews. I'm just getting into 3D printing and was thinking of buying one. I will tell you, pound for pound, that is the best printer that I have. Not gonna lie, I've never had any issue with it. Prints like a champ, super good details and everything, has never let me down. The downside is they're $900, but I think it's money well spent. Easy to use. When you open that box up, you put resin in and you start printing. Everything is leveled for you. There's no need to overthink things, but everything is ready to go out of the box. Travis wants to know, should I buy a 3D printed X-Men Magneto statue? That is yours, but I mean, you can print one. Joseph says, get everyone to email Army Painter for the statue signature line. They just came out with 2 miniature signature lines. So yeah, Army Painter I think is going to stick to the mini paints, just because that's all they know really. That's how they have always been. Here's a good question. Hold on. RL wants to know, what makes you decide if the base of a model should be an FDM instead of resin? Is cost or strength? That is a super, super good question. Both actually. So if the model is huge, you're going to take on a lot of weight from the model standing on top of it. So I would lean more towards FDM. If it is super detailed, what I will do is I will probably lean more towards resin, because FDM just doesn't capture the details like resin does. Maybe I'll chop it up into pieces or something like that, so for stability's sake, and then glue them all together and everything at the end, so that way it has a little bit more stability, if you will. Then another thing that you can do is you can actually go to smoothon.com and get you a small thing of casting resin. You can maybe the drain holes in the bottom, put a little bit of that in it, not too much, because that stuff does heat up and it'll warp the hell out of your resin if you're not careful. And it can also burn through it. But you can also use that. I've heard of people using rocks. I've heard of people using sand, all kinds of stuff like that to use for stability purposes on your base. Hope that helps. Any recommendations for a first printer? GK2, baby. I mean, yeah. Somebody, Chuck looking for Sucker Punch girls. Let's see. What do I think about portable airbrushes? I think they're great. So I've done a video on one before. I've used them here and there and everything. I typically run my PSI or anywhere from 25 to 35 PSI. And most of what you're getting in your portables are around that. So they're pretty good. The only bad thing is the airbrushes they come with suck. They clog very easily. So they sent you the cheapest airbrush possible. Any interest in the Apex Maker X1 coming to Kickstarter? No, sir. I've heard too many bad things about it. Green Stuff World is good stuff too. Yes, but their shipping is ridiculous. Yeah. John says, I love my Mono X, but now I need something bigger. So yeah, I would stay away from anything Anycubic, and that's my opinion. I've had nothing but trouble out of their new stuff. That's just my opinion. Let's see. I fill my prints with free form air. Okay. Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate it. Oranges make my. I printed the bulk of that Snake Eyes base on the shelf there at FDM and the smaller details in SLA. So that Snake Eyes behind me, that base is in FDM. It's not all resin. I think it's FDM. I have to go back and look at the video. All right, Momo, have a good one. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Crow says Jupiter is great if you know what you are doing, unlike me. Hold on. So that guy is gone. Listen, if you're going to talk about repackaging action figures and returning them to the store with old ones or whatever like that, you're a scumbag. Don't be on my live stream. All right. Hey, man, love what you do. Curious, have you ever do anything Lord of the Rings? I was told that I cannot. The wife says I have to watch some of the movies first. I have never seen any Lord of the Rings movies. Chuck knows what I'm talking about. He's been on the live streams before, and he knows that the rules apply that I have to see one of the movies first. So I really wanted to print the Wicked diorama, but that thing is too big right now, and I just cannot find the space for it, especially until I get this room situated out. So yeah, I know, WTF, man. I know. I haven't seen any of the movies. Just never got into it. I mean, but I plan on it. The wife says we're going to binge one day and just. But I've seen that some of those movies are like 3 hours long. Yeah, my wife says we haven't fixed this yet. We haven't. So we're hopefully we're going to do that soon. I know my son has seen the Lord of the Rings movie, so maybe once he gets moved in, they'll probably tie me down and make me watch him with them. My problem is not the theme of the movie itself, but it's how long it is. I mean, I just don't sit in front of movies and watch, like 3 or 4 hours for a movie. Oh, bamboo. Oh man. Bring a pillow. You'll be falling asleep. I will. Yeah, Glass Joe, I will. I'll be falling asleep. Dude, I have sleep apnea and narcolepsy, so yeah. I have trouble staying awake sometimes. Yeah. So but yeah, so what's the best one? What's the best movie? I know it's a series, and I'm not being stupid or anything like that. I just really just don't know. But what is the best one of the whole entire saga? I know, like, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I think The Empire Strikes Back is probably the best one of the saga. That's just my opinion. So tell me, which one is your favorite? Which one out of the saga is your favorite? The first trilogy, Fellowship of the Ring, all of them. Mark says all of them. Two Towers. Okay. All right. We got a little bit of all three extended versions, all in one setting. That's the only way to watch them. So you're talking like 15 hours, man. Oh, those movies will give you sleep apnea and narcolepsy if you didn't have it. Oh, yeah, they see the whole trilogy in order. You can't break them up. I just wanted to find out which one was the best one. Now, I have seen the animated Hobbit Quinn years and years ago. Matter of fact, I remember when I was a kid, we're going back several years, man, my first grade teacher used to sit and read us that book during school. We would have like story time or whatever. She read us that book. And I was like so in tune with it. And it took like weeks for her to do it. Let's see. You can't stop it in the middle and watch the rest of it later. I don't like doing movies like that, though. I mean, it just, they're long flicks. Yeah. Everybody says that they're like severely long, 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours or whatever, but they're so worth it. Like I've never seen any of the Game of Thrones. Now you guys probably, if probably going to start like wanting to butcher me, right, and throw tomatoes and eggs at me, but I haven't even seen, any Game of Thrones or anything like that. So I'm way behind on movies, man. I've seen pretty much all the Marvel stuff. Haven't really seen a lot of the DC stuff. I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm too busy, either working my day job or I'm working doing this, trying to bring you guys some good content. But my wife and I, we very seldom watch TV. Got a nice TV in there and we don't even watch it. If you watch the first, just know it gets increasingly better. Yes, bring out your dead. Yeah, bring out your dead. Bring out. Oh, yeah. Watched a lot of your painting tutorials and learn from you basically. Do you show more tutorials on Patreon or are they all on YouTube? Right now, that's a good question, Brandon. Right now, they're all on YouTube. I have not made anything exclusive for the Patreon yet. I am getting ready to turn that corner and start doing some things. I tried uploading a couple of videos on there before and it just didn't fly. They were too long and it wouldn't let me upload them or anything like that. So, but definitely, we do have a really good Discord on there though. We show different works and everything like that. And I do get on the voice channel where we'll be on like live, with like one-on-one. You're on your camera, you can interact with me and stuff. I do that from time to time. So that way, like if you have something that is giving you trouble or whatever like that, and you want to talk with me one-on-one and you're on Patreon and stuff, then yeah, we'll get on there and we'll solve it together and just shoot the breeze or whatever like that. I would say watch the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve. I've watched all of them. Was it The Quest for Peace, the one with Richard Pryor? Oh, I couldn't sit through it. It was bad. Quinn says my wife hates Monty Python. That's all I watch when I'm mad at her. I love Monty Python. We are the knights who say nee. Really like the Storm Shadow bust. Yep. So that came in today. I've had that on order for a while. It came in today. It's from the DST line. It says it's a half scale bust, but their scaling is way off. It's more 1/3. It's definitely not 1/2. Let's see. Mel Brooks movies. Yeah. Monty Python, Mel Brooks, Young Frankenstein, History of the World Part 1 or whatever. That was great. Before you, we have 15. 10 commandments. I love it. Oh, man. When are we going to get a tour of the new man cave? We were talking about that earlier and still working on it. And hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully very, very soon, I would love to do a by October, but we'll see. All right, Fred, see you later, man. Have a good one. Thank you, sir. Spaceballs was another one. I love that movie too. That's probably one of my favorites. No, Mel Brooks movies will not do well in today's censorship culture. Was it Blazing Saddles? Oh my God. Oh, I even back when I was a kid watching it, I was like watching it going, ugh, ugh. All right, here we go. Let's see. Favorite Batman movie. Let me think about that for a second. I'm not a Batfleck person, so definitely not one with him in it. I really like the first one with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, so I'm going to say that one. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to say. I love that movie. I think I've seen it literally, and I'm not exaggerating, 30 times. Yeah, I love it. Tropic Thunder would not go in today's. No, what is it? No, the Schumacher Batman. No, the one with George Clooney was horrible. Well, there you go. Paul says the best Batman movie wasn't released yet. I kind of have to agree, but the ones that are out, I really like the Keaton ones. And I really I was against him doing Batman. I really thought it was going to bomb. But I mean, no, but I liked it. Jack Nicholson was just phenomenal in that. I really liked it. Where does he get those wonderful toys? Um, so let's see here. La, la, la. You look like the piss boy. Yeah, I didn't see Flash. Did anybody see Flash and actually like it? The one with Keaton in it? Um, not sure. I mean, I've heard mixed reviews on it and everything. I'm not sure if it was any good, if it was worth any time watching it or anything. Yeah, let me know what you think of it. Christian Bale, Batman fan, the dose of American and Psycho to Bruce Wayne worked. Yeah, my wife likes Christian Bale because he's hot, probably. No, I kind of like the Christian Bale Batman. I think I just didn't like to hear him talk as Batman. I'm going to kill you. No, I didn't like that. Let's see. Piss boy. Um, it's okay for streaming not to pay a movie ticket. Yeah. Cyber Hobbit. Thank you, sir. Coming across with the 10. Thank you so much, sir. Please look up the scene right of from the Lord of the Rings, one of the most epic movie scenes of all time. I appreciate it, sir. And anybody else can throw a super thanks at me. I'd appreciate it too. But if you guys, you're just kind of coming in, please make sure you hit that like button as well. If you like the stream, you like the channel, you like the content. Sweet Tooth is here. You're late, but you're here, man. Okay. Glass Joe said it was good, worth it for Batman alone. Bracker says Flash was terrible. Mask of the Phantasm all day. Oh, I forgot that. I took my son to see that when he was a kid, and that was a really good movie. I love that. Kevin Conroy is Kevin Conroy the one who did the voice on that one, I think, right? Um, yeah, that was a really good one. Did I see Grim Knight from 3D Berserk statue? Yes, sir. I got it printed. It's over here. I'm working on it right now. Hopefully, have it soon. Have it finished very soon. Printed it in quarter scale. Let's see. Yeah, I have to admit, Heath Ledger was just a freaking legendary Joker. What was that I saw? I think where the scene where they're at the party and he comes through and sees Maggie Gyllenhaal or whatever her name is, and Michael Caine is there, and I think it's Michael Caine. He comes through and he doesn't say anything. They said that Michael Caine seeing Heath Ledger in that makeup was like terrified, like literally terrified, and forgot his lines and froze up. That's why that scene was like that. I think if I got that right, but I was reading that and I was like, that's pretty strong, pretty strong. All right, Joseph, have a good night, sir. Um, know of anyone who has a good animated series Batman STL? Yeah, actually, Vengeance Studios did one. There's a few out there, but they did one that's really, really nice. Um, can't wait to release the X-23 sculpt. Yes, sir. That's going to look nicer. Going to be finishing up this Punisher before too long, hopefully. Awesome. Cool deal. All right. Any other questions anybody's got? They just like talking. I mean, we got 65 people on here. Hopefully, we got hundreds and hundreds of likes for the channel, hundreds of likes for the stream and everything. If you missed it earlier, we were talking about kind of going back earlier about last week's live stream. I'm not going to go through it again. We're just going to move forward, try to put out positivity here. I like being a positive person. I don't like being a negative person. So we're going to go forward and, wish everybody the best and everything. Let's see. This is a weird. Oh, let's see. We got a weird question here. I like weird questions. This is a weird question, but is there an easier way to scale different pieces to a model so that they all fit instead of trying to put all pieces on the screen? Is there an easier way to scale different pieces to a model so they fit instead of trying to put all pieces on the screen? Are you trying to put everything on the build plate at once? I'm not sure if that's what you're asking or not. Um, but I just do it. I just go uh, right. Like I have a little book, like for my models, as far as what scale I have them at. So when I print several pieces and stuff, I can go back and refer to that because I don't print everything on one build plate. Um, so that's how I do it. I mean, I don't know how anybody else does it. Um, let's see, selecting and all in scaling and Chi box. I was never good with math. So Sanix actually has a scale tool, a scaling tool that teaches you kind of how to scale your models to a certain um, scale or whatever like that. So go over there and check that out. I hope that helps. James says I'm waiting for Vengeance Studios to do Bane from the Batman and Robin movie. I don't know what Jordan has up his sleeve. I mean, they've been cranking some stuff out over there, man. Some really cool stuff, unusual things. Um, not all models for comic books and stuff. I think he just did the whole Face Off movie, the John Travolta Nick Cage thing. Looked pretty interesting, pretty cool if that's your thing. So, yeah. Jacob wants to know how long did it take to learn the cell shading technique for the TMNT statues. It took a couple of weeks. That was a challenge. It was a challenge. Who has the scaling to its Sanix? I believe Sanix. Lychee has a scaling tool, says J3D Tech. Um, so yeah, they have. I think it's Vengeance. Yeah, they have all the Batman movie figures from the '90s except for Bane. Yeah, still at 6 likes. Really, guys? Come on, man. You show me more love than that. Oh, 6 likes. That's all we got so far. Oh man, you're killing me, guys. Oh man. Oh yeah, 6 likes. Ugh. Are there any good face-off STLs out there? Yeah, we were just talking about that from Vengeance Studios. They have the Nick Cage and John Travolta thing. They're like side by side next to a wall or something from that scene. Yeah. Oh, 66. Okay. 66 what's? 66 likes? Okay, okay, cool, thank you. All right. Let's get 6 in front of that 66. 666. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Um, awesome. So, I think we got is R3D on here too? R3D Studios? Didn't I see you on here earlier, my friend? Uh, I think he was on here earlier. 66 bottles of beer on the wall. Yep, he's there. So yeah, R3D also has some really cool models. I got a Punisher here. I know I showed it on the live stream last week. I don't think I can. I got too much stuff on it right now. Really good models. Go check his Patreon out as well. Jules Modelato he was on here last week. He's got a good Patreon. Um, I forgot to join his horror tier. My wife's going to beat my ass because I did not. I don't know if I joined up in time to get the darkness the model from him. I'll have to probably email him and find out if I can buy it from him. But yeah, it's a beautiful model. I know he's doing Creature from the Black Lagoon, I think is this one. See, I told you she's going to beat my ass. Yeah, so if you ever watch the movie Legend with Tom Cruise and Tim Curry, who plays the big horn dude, Darkness, just he did a killer model of it. I will print Darkness, honey. I will make sure if it costs me $50 to get the file, I will. Um, I can't. Oh, I had to do this. Had the same thing. Okay, I'll check with Jules. William wants to know about Spawn models. Not a fan. Not going to do any Spawn right now. Better lock that door so she can't. She's in the other room. I mean, she knows she could come in here. She's probably going to open it up in a minute and give me the evil eye. I think there's a delay on this, so she'll probably get to it in just a second, and I'll be looking through and going, "Hi, honey." But yeah, that was a really nice model. Yeah, she just opened the door. "Hi, honey." "Hi." She's like Jack Nicholson. "Honey, I'm home. Here's Johnny." Um, okay, yeah, Prey Studios has several good Spawn models. Um, Kim won't show her face. I've tried to get her to be on a live stream with me, and she won't. She's camera shy. She's just a little camera shy. But I think the only person that has actually seen her on camera is Steve from my Patreon. And if Steve, if you're on here, buddy, welcome back. Steve's been under the weather a little bit and he's been out. So anybody, the Patreon members of mine know Steve. He's doing much better, and man, I'm glad to see that. But he's back on the Patreon, on the Discord, with his infamous J. Jonah Jameson laugh meme, or the GIF, I mean. So very, very cool. So what's up next for the Patreon? Somebody asked that, I think, earlier, or I might have just exaggerated. So this month, Steve the Destroyer. So I've got 2 commission slots that I bought. One is for G.I. Joe Scarlet that's going to be coming out hopefully soon. And if time permits, we also got another Punisher versus Wolverine, the War Journal, the Jungle Saga, or whatever like that we're doing as well. Man, I'm a huge Punisher fan, so I'm going to make some Punisher stuff every now and then. And then next month we'll decide. But I would like to keep doing these models as long as I get the support and as long as we have people, in the Patreon that wants them and everything. Like, keep supporting the channel. Loki Wartooth, welcome, sir. How are you? So, yeah, it's not something I'm probably going to do every month. I have 3 different tiers. You can join the Discord, $3, just help support the channel. I got a $5 one, same thing, basically, just a couple of dollars extra or whatever like that for the Discord. And then the $10 tier gets you into the model of the month. Yeah, so you guys want to know about my wife? Here she is. She's not a painter. She writes, does photography, graphic design, other forms of art. So, yes, she's a very, very talented person. She is very, very well. She's very smart, keeps me in line, tries to anyway. Okay, Cyber Hobbit. I knew this was going to come up sooner or later, but you are actually the first person to ask this in any of my live streams. Curious your insight on what you would do if you ever had to move. How would you package your collection of statues? Damn. Oh, man. For one, I'm not moving. Don't have any plans on moving. Right now, the housing market is just ridiculous. My mortgage is super, super cheap. I've been here at this house for going on 17 years. It's quiet. It's small. But it's just my wife and I right now until my son moves back in, and that's just us 3 and 2 dogs. And then I don't have any plans. I mean, we've done everything to the house remodel-wise that we wanted to do. And eventually, maybe one day, may decide to move. If we do, so a lot of my production made stuff, like from Sideshow, Prime One, all that stuff, I have all the boxes up above me in my attic. I have all that stuff. I still have all those. So that's not going to be that big of an issue. As far as all the 3D printed stuff, I'm screwed. I have no idea. I mean, I would probably have to pack everything up in the back of my truck, kind of box by box, lot of peanuts, a lot of those packing peanuts and stuff, and just have to be as careful as I can. I mean, I'm sure that I would probably have some casualties in the move, but yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. I mean, this really depends. I mean, I don't even want to think about that now. Hell, 10 years, 20 years down the road, I could be doing something totally different. I don't know. Let me see. Did I see the twist in the credits of the new Transformers movie? Haven't seen the movie, man. Haven't seen the movie. What kind of dogs do we have? Well, I don't have any dogs right now. My wife and I had a couple of beagles that my wife actually had since they were puppies, and unfortunately, a couple of years ago they passed because they got old. But my son has 2 toy poodles, and they're divas. They're 2 girls, sisters, and they're hyperactive little things, little wind up, and then they're on go. So, so James says, I do canvas paintings in acrylic and oil and would be interested in seeing some of your work you mentioned earlier. So yeah, I probably will post it on the Discord. I've got a few airbrush paintings that I do. I'm not like that great with an airbrush, but I do have my portfolio from several years ago. A couple of paintings that I did for the museum were actually auctioned off and donated to charity. But I actually, I've still got a few paintings running around here in my portfolio somewhere. Being a GI Joe, what? Oh, Loki says, they make a chemical packing product. You place the model down, then expands around it. I'm going to try that next commission. Okay. Didn't know they had something like that. Let me know what it is in the Discord. Do I like dogs, or you said dags? Do I like dogs? Oh, I love dogs. It's part of my day job. I'm not going to tell you, but yeah, I have to like dogs where I work. If I don't, I'm screwed. Cyber Hobbit wants to know, do I ever think I'll sell some of my statues on, say, Etsy? No, sir. Nope. No, sir. Unfortunately, I will not. Show them the photo I took of Copper and Daisy. Let me see if I got it on my phone. So, my wife wants you to see our dogs. We actually still have them, even though they've passed. They're in urns. It's a quote from the movie Snatch with Brad Pitt. You like dags? I didn't know that. I hadn't seen that movie. Let me see if I can find a picture of my dogs. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find this picture here. But yeah, we had a couple of beagles. What were they, 15, 16 years old, something like that. Brother and sister. And I'm not a huge like pet person to have in the house. Now, I love dogs, cats, and everything, but I'm not big on having them because, of course, they could chew up your furniture, they can wet the carpet, things like that. So I'm kind of big on that. But they're really good dogs, and I fell in love with them. They're, they're really, they grew on me, I guess you could say. But I can't find that picture. I don't want to take up too much time looking for a picture here. Let's see. Snatch is a fantastic movie. I'll probably check it out. So a lot of people don't like Brad Pitt's acting, but I think he's a good actor. Like Interview with a Vampire, I know that he hated that movie, from what I understand, and he kind of he tried to get out of it or something like that. So yeah, I found it, dear. Oh, that one. Okay, hold on. The wife is showing me the dog picture. So These were our babies. Copper and Daisy. Yeah, may they rest in peace. Love them so much. But when my wife first moved in, that carpet that they're on, they like took up to that thing, and that was theirs from that point forward. They loved that carpet. Here's another picture of them. And yeah, I'm showing my dogs. There they are on the same carpet. Yeah, they love that thing. Yeah. So everybody, my wife is standing in front of me and she refuses to come and get on camera. So get your ass over here. No, come over here and say hi. Come over here and say hi. Please. Please. Everybody, give me a hell yeah if you want to see my wife. Just say hi. Oh, we're getting ready to get bombarded with it now. She is a very supportive person of what I do. And she is a super, super nice lady. She's great to me. She's great for this right here. And so, yeah, the hell yeahs are coming through. Come on. Just for 1 second, just peek in and say hi. So everybody, I want you to see this is my wife, Kim. This is my wife, Kim. She's a beautiful woman here. She puts up with my crap. But, yeah, so see, everybody's saying, hell yeah, they want to say hello. Say hello.
Hi.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Use the puppy dog eyes on me.
I use the puppy dog eyes. It works. Thank you, dear. So I'm trying to get her to set in with me on a live stream sometime. So maybe when my son gets here, he'll sit in on a live stream with me. Sweet Tooth says that your hair is awesome, honey. His wife says that your hair is awesome. Yeah, she's got the purple head. I actually need to shave mine. I mean, I'm like, yeah. Whew. Anywho.
You do one that's communications related, I'll help you.
Oh, communications. All you got to do is just sit here and look pretty and just talk to people.
Excuse me?
I mean, that's no. I know. I'm just saying that all you got to do is just talk to people. Everybody's friendly on here, and yeah, everybody's good, friendly. Okay. You do. You see all this stuff. Yeah.
I can critique it just like anybody else, but I can't give advice.
John says, "Where the hell did my hair go?" I lost it, man. So I guess back when I stopped playing music in '96, I cut all of it off. I had a nice full head of hair, and I guess about 10 years ago now, I was diagnosed with a rare case of osteosarcoma.
That's more than that.
That's
10 years old.
That's been about 12 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. So I think about 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare form of osteosarcoma. And so I lost every bit of hair, and it just kind of grew back funny and stuff and never grew back right. So I just keep it shaved. So yeah, but, we're still here. And we're doing good, but man, there's nothing like waking up in the morning, rolling out of bed, putting on your clothes and going to work. You don't have to worry about brushing your hair, anything of the sort. You just get up and go. So now my wife, on the other hand, she has to get up in the morning. She has to brush her hair, put it in a ponytail, do whatever. She has a beautiful head of hair. And might I say too, she has a beautiful head, because when she had cancer a few years ago, she lost all of her hair. She has a cute head, and she went for a long time with no hair and everything, and she has a really, really cute head. Speaking from a cosmetologist, her hair is dope. Cool. That's what Sergeant says. Sarge says, I forget.
Huge compliment.
Dope is cool. That's a huge compliment. Oh yeah, R3. He says you can get her a mic and have her be on off-camera commentator while she builds up confidence to be on camera. That's not a bad idea.
Okay, I'm not camera shy. I work
Okay,
in communications.
that's true. She works in communications. She's not necessarily camera shy. She just says that she doesn't know anything about the topic of 3D printing and painting. And this is kind of like my live stream. But hey, I'd like for her to be on sometime. But if she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to be. All right.
We talk about like page promotion and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but we don't need that here. We're just a bunch of friendly people talking, having a good time.
We've
And,
talked about that before.
yeah.
Getting a page going, getting a Patreon going.
Right.
Yourself.
So if you want to see, hold on one second. I could show you a picture of me with hair. Everybody get your cameras ready because I'm going to show you Henry with hair. You want to see what hair looks like on Henry. You guys ready for this one? All right. I don't want to see a bunch of it will be nice, I promise. This is an older picture of me, but this is what, yeah. Check that out. That's Henry with hair. That was when I was a teenager.
Should I just come over there and like lay my head on top of yours and like?
No, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. And oh, here's a touching picture. This is me with my son, who is now 31 years old, getting ready to be 32 years old when he was first born. That's a touching moment right there, isn't it? Oh, so enough of that. Enough of talking about me and stuff. All right, honey, you don't have to stay in here if you don't want to. Sweet Tooth says the Discord deserves that picture. I was expecting Vinnie Paul. No.
No, you need to post the one if you're 16.
Oh yeah, no, I won't do that one because YouTube will actually probably throw me off of here.
Not on YouTube, in the Discord.
Yeah, I can do it on Discord. All right, here we go. 80s metal. Yes, sir. That's where I was playing. That's what I was playing. So Cyber Hobbit says, curious, based on your analytics on YouTube, did you know your top age range of viewers? Yeah, I kind of look at that, and I think it's 18 to 35. It's between that, and it's actually the next one up. I think it's like 35 to 45. So, yeah. Dio. Good night, William. Have a good one. We'll see you. Yeah, I was a baby when I had my kid. I was 19 years old. So I was actually out on a club tour with my band. And my then girlfriend, but my first wife, was in another state. She was in Michigan, Hastings, Michigan, to be precise. And we were actually touring, and I was locally here. And we've been, her father got displaced from his job, and so they moved away. And it was kind of one of those things where we just kept in contact, or whatever like that. But anyway, so just out of the blue, one night, normally she would call me after school, and her dad called me instead and says, "Hey, congratulations, you're a dad." I swear to you, it happened just like that. You're a father. And long story short, I took a red-eye flight, got on my manager to get me on a plane, went up there off tour for a week, spent a week up there with him. 6 months later, after I got off the tour, moved him back here, got married, and the rest is history. But yeah, looks like out of the band Slaughter. Hey, I know Mark Slaughter. I take that as a compliment. That was a pretty decent 80s hair band back in the day. They had some pretty good hits. Yeah. All right, guys. The time is winding down. I'm starting to get a little, talking about my old band days and my old hair days and stuff like that. So I guess we kind of hit a bump in the live stream. So yes, 80s metal is the best. I will say that. I'm not big into new music these days. However, I do like some of the newer stuff. There is some stuff that's growing on me. So yeah. Any FDM videos coming up? So I want to do a bunch more, but once I get the room into a position to where I can do them, then yes, I'm going to be doing some FDM prints and kind of going through some stuff. Looking forward to that. So, yes, sir, I will be doing that. A Spinal Tap. I am the drummer for Spinal Tap. All right. If anybody has any more questions, please let's address them now. Again, if you're just not coming on here, make sure to hit that like button. Love the channel. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget about my Patreon. You can get on there. You get on our private Discord. Do the $3, $5. Hell, throw up something for the super thanks if you want, supporting the channel. But by all means, my biggest supporters just simply watch the videos, and they're free. It goes up to 11. Yes, I remember that. So yeah, so FDM stuff. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some of that very, very soon. So stay tuned. And again, I apologize for the lack of content because I've been really super busy trying to move my son back in, and trying to get my room straightened up and make room and everything else. But hopefully we're going to be turning a corner here soon. Top 5 bands. Oh, man. Oh, man. Ah. Well, first off, I'm going to say this, and probably you guys will probably get pissy, but I have to say number 1 is Kiss, because I grew up with Kiss. Gene Simmons is the reason why I started playing bass guitar. 1977 Rock and Roll Over tour here at the Mid-South Coliseum. I was in front row with my uncle, had my face painted up, sitting on his shoulder, yelling "Daddy Gene" in front row. And Gene Simmons reaches down, gives me a high five. That was all it took for me to want to be a bass player. So I would have to say another band. And again, you guys probably think that I probably listen to, country music or whatever, but I don't. Another band, and I'm not no certain order, Slayer. I love Slayer. I've seen them many, many times. They're just probably one of my favorite bands. But yeah, I love those guys. Oh man. Third band, probably, I love their music. I don't like their new music too much because the singer's no longer with them. Would have to be Queensryche. I love Queensryche. They're up there. I really like them. See, another band that I probably would put up there. I was gonna say Motley Crue, but they dicked over Mick Mars, so no, I'm kind of anti-Motley right now. Although they were a great band back in the day, watching them now was just, oh my god, it's just a train wreck. But Iron Maiden is close. Iron Maiden is close, but I tell you right now, one of my turning point albums, actually 2 of them. One of them is Operation Mindcrime. If you guys have never heard that album, go out, get it, listen to it. It's fabulous. It's a masterpiece. And the other one that I say was a big turning point for me too was Destroyer from Kiss, 1976. Love that record. And then another one, if you really want to go any further, is Rain in Blood from Slayer. If you're angry, if you're flipping just pissed off at the world, listen to that record. It will make you feel so much better. Ronnie James Dio is probably one of the greatest metal vocalists ever. Rob Halford, Ronnie James Dio, those 2 guys are way up there. Jeff Tate. Oh man, just I can go on and on about music. Let me see. What's my take on Lychee FDM? I don't use Lychee. I am strictly a Pt2 box user. I'm waiting on me to say the Oak Ridge Boys. Elvira. Home up a mile. No Oak Ridge Boys, but I grew up on them because my dad was a country music fan. Dio was great. Rock and Roll Children, yeah. Holy Diver, We Rock, all that stuff. Love it. Love all that stuff, man. Dio was great. So I've only listed 3: Queensryche, Kiss, and Slayer. I would say Queen. I wasn't necessarily a Queen fan, but I was a huge Freddie Mercury fan. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Yeah. All right, John. Have a good night, buddy. Man, 4th. Let's see. Oh man. Oh my God. There's so many ones out there. I have to say Metallica. I've been listening to those guys since like 1984. Yeah, Metallica, definitely. What type of camera am I using? Any chance to get the stream to 1080p? So I just found out earlier that I have to sign up through StreamYard for their service, and in order to get it to 1080p, so I'm going to look into that. But I do have a 4K camera. It's a Logitech Bursi or something like that. So yeah, I'm probably going to look into that and get a little bit better quality because I went back and looked, and yeah. All right, for the 5th band, I don't know, man. There's so much good music back from the day. I would probably say I'd probably put Iron Maiden up there. Iron Maiden, I grew up with Steve Harris, listening to him play bass. That dude is just phenomenal. I like Van Halen, the old Van Halen. I like the Sammy Hagar era. Sammy was a tremendous singer. He put a lot of that feeling into that stuff. Metallica is number 1 for James. Yeah. So I agree with you. The old stuff was phenomenal. The new stuff. Now I did like the Hardwired to Self-Destruct. I like that record. The whole 17 Seasons one, I haven't really listened to a much of it, but a lot of it sounds like it sounds like they're trying too hard to sound like the old Metallica. There's a couple of good songs on there that are bangers for me. I really like them, but other than that, I'm just not big into that. Definitely Black Sabbath too, man. I cannot forget about Black Sabbath. Geezer Butler was just a hit man on that bass. But there's a lot of bassists that I really love. I love Billy Sheehan. He's done a lot of stuff with Mr. Big. Not a big Mr. Big fan. He did a lot of stuff with David Lee Roth. Not a big David Lee Roth fan, but Rainbow, yeah. Some of that old stuff is killer, dude. The Man on the Silver Mountain. The first album Van Halen did with Sammy was a Sammy Hagar album, and it totally rocked. I agree. What was that? 5150, right? Balance was a good record. Yeah, Rob, you can't dispute AC/DC, dude. I mean, those guys are kings when it comes to the master riff. I mean, they haven't changed their music. They still do the same thing every record. They stay true to their roots. But yeah, a lot of people are saying Ronnie James Dio, but yeah, Dio was just awesome. All right, guys. So that's kind of my top 5, I guess. Pink Floyd I respect their music. It was just moving and everything like that, but I'm not a huge fan. I just didn't get into that type of psychedelic type of music. But yeah, I respect what they did. They really changed the face of music. The Wall was just tremendous. Yes, he played them flat wound strings, man. I play roto sounds. Although I haven't picked up my bass in quite some time. All right, guys. I think I'm getting ready to wrap it up here. We've been on for an hour and 45 minutes, probably one of the longest streams we've done in a while. But please, by all means, definitely go out, support your local Patreons and everything like that. I had somebody, I think, that sent a message into me from my Discord to do something recommended Patreons, and I will definitely do that on the Discord. The ones that I've worked with and done work, and recommend and everything. So I appreciate you guys being on here, man. Oh yeah, I forgot about Talus, Chuck. Yeah, Billy's. He had the whole 4 thing. I used the 4 thing as well. But yeah, so anyway, guys, don't forget to leave a like on the live stream. Don't forget to leave a subscription on the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Consider joining the Patreon, even if for the $3 one to get the $3 tier to get on the Discord. Lots of good people over there. Cyber Hobbit, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Remember Lord of the Rings? Yes, sir. I promise you. I am going to make a commitment, not a promise. I'm going to commit to seeing at least one of the movies before my next live stream so I could tell you guys what I thought about it. So hopefully we can make it happen between now and then. So guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I wish I could reach through this thing and shake each and every one of your hands. Definitely, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon members. Got a lot of new members that I'm going to recognize on the next video and everything. You can still join the Patreon in the $10 tier right now and get that Spider-Man Kraven's Last Hunt model. So I was going to say, my wife says, yeah, one before the next live stream. But got some new stuff coming up pretty soon. Thank you for supporting the channel. Without you, I would not be here right now. I greatly appreciate all your support. You don't know how much it means to me. Right now, we're just tipping the 17,340-ish subscribers. Please share the channel, share the videos, like the channel and everything like that. That means so much to me and everything, guys. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you again for tuning in for tonight. Be kind to one another. Go out and support your Patreon member or your Patreon creators and everything. Go to support Alvaro Stuardo. I mean, he's released a new model. Let's see if the man can be consistent and everything. Thank you so much. Go check out my guy at R3D. Go check out Sargent. He's got a YouTube channel and everything. But all means, guys, stay safe out there. Get out and create something. Print, prep, paint, repeat. And until the next friggin' live stream or the next video, guys, we'll see you. Have a good night.